Hard to believe a day and a half ago, we were battling weather and a 2-hour and 10-minute rain delay. It is just perfect outside, 85 degrees. As the house will be filled up again, Rockies and Cubs concluding their season series. Rockies took 2 of 3 at Wrigley, and they won Friday night in overtime, 11 innings. They won 7-6 last night. It was the Cubs winning 9-2. We're ready to go. And the 2 former teammates will match up right away, Jorge De La Rosa and Dexter Fowler. Dexter played behind Jorge in a whole number of games through the years. Dexter's had a good series. Hit a home run on Friday night. Got another big RBI hit later on Friday. He takes that pitch down low. So De La is 7-7 this year with a 5.29 ERA, but what we like to pay attention to is what he's done his last 12 starts. That's after he came out of the bullpen. And he has allowed more than 3 runs in just 2, Spilly, of those 12 starts. He deals with traffic, we know that, but he generally gets you to the dugout with any damage being done.
Most importantly, that fastball command for Jorge has been so important in the second half, and really since the All-Star break. You look at how much the average has dropped against his fastball, and part of the reason why is he's throwing the cut fastball inside to right-handed hitters. It's been the equalizer for him to get to that split finger.
2-1 on the ground, and you know, we talk so much about the shifts, and I want to point this out. If you are playing a conventional setup, we're talking about a leadoff single for Dexter Fowler. The shift giveth and the shift taketh away, and you have to calculate at the end of the year, and they're doing it all the time, what the numbers are. So you know, we always kind of gloss over that, but if LeMahieu's not situated right up the middle, that's a knock.
I think when we've looked at it over the course of the season, it has been hard because the shift times where you see a baseball go through the infield with runners in scoring position, they stick out in your mind more than a base hit that was just taken away to lead off a game.
This is a towering pop-up to shallow right. Cargo's coming on. Cargo will put it away. 2 outs, and Chris Bryant is quickly retired, and that is always a good thing. Take a look at the Cubs starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Joe Maddon will have Anthony Rizzo again hitting third. Ben Zobrist, who homered last night, he'll bat cleanup. Addison Russell, he has a home run in this series. The young catcher, good-looking kid, Wilson Contreras. Javier Baez was not in the original lineup. Matt Caesar as well. Jorge Soler was in the original lineup, and he's a little bit sore from last night where he fouled a pitch off his leg, so he was kind of a late morning scratch, and they reconfigured their lineup a little bit. Baez, I should say, was in there, but he just moved a spot in the lineup. The guy that was not in the original lineup is Matt Caesar. Rizzo fouls off the first pitch. De La Rosa ready. 3 on the right side for Rizzo, who hovers right over the middle of that plate with his arms. He gets plunked a lot. Could care less.
It's kind of the philosophy of the Cubs, is find a way to get on base.
That's a great view of it.
It's beautiful. Hands right over the top of the inside corner of the plate. Brad Hopp used to hit like that in Double-A. Won a Carolina MVP. And when I saw Rizzo start doing it and creeping up and up, I asked Hopper, I go, hey, how is that possible? Do you feel comfortable? And he goes, yeah, I feel comfortable, because he felt like he had so much more plate coverage. And really, for these guys, when they're that far on top of the plate, they're not really looking for the ball inside. They're looking for the ball middle away, and they feel like they can get extended a lot easier than if they're off the plate.
You know, it's interesting because I had always heard the opposite, Spilly, that guys that were more on the plate wanted the ball in, and guys who were a little bit further away from the plate actually wanted the ball away. It kind of it goes against what you would think. 2-2.
It all differs. For me, I wanted to be off the plate. I wanted to be off the plate to give myself a little space inside so I could handle the inside part of the plate because I couldn't. And I did want the ball away. I was a diver. But for guys like Brad Hopp, when he talks about it, make sure you stand tall, and he wants the pitch away. He had no problem turning on it, but he was looking for the ball away.
You know, Brad did what Rizzo does just to relax the hands, and before the pitch, he'd actually extend his hands out. So they're over, I mean, 2/3 of the plate before he pulled them back in to remind himself to stay inside. But Rizzo kind of does that as well. Stylistic thing, a way to stay loose. Two. De La spikes that splitter, which he will throw more than a third of the time. His arsenal hasn't changed. I think what's made him more effective from April, when he really struggled, is he's more aggressive with his fastball.
And he has to be, even though he's right now over 4 walks per 9. The fastball for him is so key to setting up the rest of his pitches.
3-2, and he strikes him out because he will not give in. He went to the splitter. 3-2. Rizzo spiking his helmet, and a very nice 1-2-3 beginning for Jorge De La Rosa on this gorgeous Sunday. Bottom of the first inning, David Dahl has been leading off all series long. Charlie Blackmon remains out, getting better with that sore toe, but he's not in the starting lineup again this afternoon. Here's the Southwest batting order, and it will feature DJ LeMahieu in the 2 spot. Cargo batting third, then Nolan, Gerardo Parra, Descalso, Paulson, Walters, De La Rosa, Dahl. All of those guys hit left-handed, so the Rockies could have 6 in a row from the left side of the plate. That works fine when Jason Hamill's out there later on with 3 lefties in their bullpen. May not work as well. Jason Hamill has had a phenomenal year, 13-5, 2.75 ERA, and as Billy was telling you earlier, there hasn't been anybody better in baseball in the second half. He's 6-0 with a microscopic ERA. He has not given up a run in 22 innings.
You have to look at fastball command, and it's going to be a nice base hit for David Dahl.
He hit the ball hard last night, had only 1 hit to show for it, a couple of lineouts, but a great start again for David.
How rare that was for Jason Hamill to give up a hit to a lefty second half, post All-Star break. .69 batting average against left-handers. You look at the Rockies lineup tonight with all the lefties. That could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing based on how Jason Hamill's fastball has been working for him.
Here's DJ. DJ had an odd night last night because he went 0 for 3 and a walk. He still drove in a run. Just seems strange when DJ doesn't have at least 3 hits in a night.
He's had 9 multi-hit games in the last 17 games. That's a .462 batting average.
DJ chased a pitch shoulder high. It's 0-2. Tell you another note about how strange last night was. Rockies didn't get much done offensively, just 5 hits. It was only the second time this year that DJ, Nolan Arenado, Carlos Gonzalez, and Charlie, of course Charlie wasn't in the lineup, didn't have a hit. The other time was April 19th in Cincinnati, which, not surprisingly, was also a loss. This ball is lobbed out to right center field. It's going to drop. David Dahl got a great read. He'll go first to third. Know your ballpark. At Wrigley, the corner outfielder is going to have a chance to make a play on that in the air. Not at Coors Field. Great read by Dahl, Spilly.
Try to hit the ball in the gap, and we know with DJ LeMahieu, he's going to hit the ball opposite field. But more importantly, David Dahl off the bat recognizes that Ben Zobrist has no chance to get this baseball. Fastball inside, DJ pulls those hands in nice and tight. As he's watching this, you know first to third, you're going to be able to stand there pretty easy. Looks up, picks up Stu Cole. Now Jason Hammel, who's thrown 22 straight innings without giving up a run. He's in jeopardy of at least giving up 1.
Well, something will go severely wrong if he doesn't give up at least 1. First and third, Cargo at the plate, and the slider's inside, ball 1. Cargo's 0 for 4 lifetime against Hammel. Just the second time that Jason has started at Coors Field since departing the Rockies. Rockies beat him at Coors Field in his only other appearance here. Cargo stays off it. Now he's in a favorable count, 2-0. How about DJ? He was behind 0-2 there with 2 strikes this year. He's hitting .258. That's 8th best in the National League. We always say, hey, no panic when he gets to 2 strikes. It's like a comfort zone for him. He did not give in with the fastball. Went to a curveball in there for a strike. Alan Porter indicated such. And Alan is behind home plate. Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief's at first. John Tempane is at second. Ryan Blakeney is at third. DJ goes back in head first. Jason Hammel with his last victory. 7 shutout innings, 2 hits against Milwaukee. Improved to 82 and 82 in his career. He's really put together a fine career. And this ball's in the air to shallow right. Coming on is Zobrist, and Dahl will not challenge the throw. Cargo did not get it deep enough. Cargo with his head down, upset with himself as he walks back to the dugout. Now a little bit more pressure on Nolan, who's the RBI leader in the National League, but he has been really scuffling. Just 4 for his last 35, and he has got to get a ball in the air here.
Not only get it in the air, get it in the air deep enough that David Dahl is going to be able to score. Dahl will challenge a throw now. When you have nobody out and a fly ball to right field like he was to Zobrist, Stu Cole won't take that chance to send him home. Fly ball right now, you'll take your extra shot.
It's all the things that a third base coach has to calculate. Where are you in the lineup? You don't want to end up in a double play situation with Nolan coming up. Even with him scuffling, he's been able to drive in runs in situational at-bats on this homestand. Just 1 hit on the homestand, but he's driven in a few. He did a lot of work after the ball game late last night, didn't he, Spilly?
Just trying to get himself in a good spot. You look at the sack flies, that sticks out for me. 5 sack flies in the last since August the 10th, and now he ranks first in the National League with sacrifice flies with 8. The number that should stick out to you, 114 batting average with the ball in play. Season average this year is 262 batting average ball in play.
The league average is usually around 300 ball in play. A lot of analytics folks look at that as a luck stat. So in other words, if you're well below, say, 300, then some stuff's going to start falling for you. Here's the 1-0.
Last since August the 10th, there's been a handful of baseballs that Nolan has really squared up. Maybe a handful. A lot of pop-ups to the infield, a lot of pop-ups, foul territory, and that just tells me that as of right now, you're jumping on your front foot, and his bat path is really steep.
Could it be head movement also, traveling toward the baseball?
Yeah, he's trying to get the baseball. We've seen a lot of swings where you don't see the ball get deep. Fine with that swing.
Hamels now ahead 1-2. Hamel has struck out 113 and 134 and a third, so he does have the ability to get the strikeout. Generally speaking, it'd be with a slider. That's what he went to, and it's blocked by Contreras. 2-2.
Today marks the 47th career start Jason Hamels had at Coors Field. His 10th most all-time, 14-14 as a Rocky. The ERA just below 5. He's been here. He understands how this field plays out. Tries not to panic.
Two to Nolan. This ball crossed, stay fair, high and deep, left field, and gone. 3-run jack, Nolan Arenado. How good that must feel.
Well, that home run will put Nolan at 101 RBIs now. 31st home run of the season. Yeah, all the hard work's starting to pay off. You see him walking in, shaking it off. Big sigh of relief for Nolan. Limited head movement. Hands flying through. And a slider up and in. Nolan doesn't miss these pitches too often.
That's his sweet spot. He does not get beat on the inner half. And I know, Spilly, one of the ways to keep the ball fair and take some of the hook out of it as Parra backs out, and you know you're doing it right, is when your hands are inside, the ball won't hook, will it?
It will not hook at all if you pull in your hands tight.
That's a great, great view of it. So Nolan has tied up Chris Bryant for the home run lead. Bryant had that distinction for about 24 hours after hitting that monstrous shot yesterday, a 3-run home run to dead center. Great start for the Rockies. And this one's pulled to first, and Rizzo botches it. Throw to first, not going to get him. Rizzo normally very sure-handed. And Parra reaches.
2 nights ago in the 10th inning, we saw Rizzo almost misplay a ball at first base. It went down as a base hit, but did the same type thing. He's not really setting his feet, drops his hands for a backhand, plays it into an error.
That'll bring up Descalso. Speaking of guys that like the ball on the inner half, Daniel falls into that category. You look at the 3 quadrants of the strike zone that are on the inside portion of the plate. Down and in, middle in, up and in. And he is hitting well above the league average in all 3 of those areas. Got a quick bat.
I like his swing. It's quiet. Rhythm and timing. What does that mean? What does rhythm and timing mean? You watch Daniel, watch his hands, and watch he's always on time with the pitcher. Very simple movement, simple approach. That is what has allowed Daniel, even though he's not considered an everyday type player, to be a very good bench player because you're limited in your at-bats.
Nolan now is, Spilly mentioned, with 101 ribbies. He led the league, led all of baseball, in fact, last year with 130. It's the second time in his career he's been over 100. There are 4 Rockies that drove in over 105 times. That guy in the middle is one of them. Vinny Castilla 5 times drove in 100. Walker, Bichette, Todd Helton as well. Big Cat did it 3 times. Matt Holliday twice. Addy, your buddy, Garrett Atkins twice. And now Nolan. So 3 third basemen on that list. Multiple 100 RBI seasons in a Rockies uniform. Been some good third basemen to play for the Rockies. Let's not forget Jeff Cirillo, who threw out one year in particular that was just off the charts. Called strike. It's 1-2. It's also the 101st home run for Nolan in his career, and his first home run in 13 days. It's also nice when you work your tail off, as Nolan always does. The reward's not going to happen necessarily the next day, but Nolan was here evidently a long time after the ball game was over last night, working in the cage, and early result.
Well, it hasn't been just yesterday. It's been for a long time. You know, he's been working, he's been grinding, he's been working overtime, and knowing him, one at bat's not going to turn it around. He wants to see it result after result after result. I'd like to get to that spot, and talking to him, you look at the numbers, and that's the part that's just remarkable. He's in 276, 31 homers, 101 RBIs, and he said this season has felt like a bigger grind than he's ever had. He's never really gotten in that place at the plate where you feel like every time you come to the plate, like DJ and Charlie Blackmon were, that you're going to get a hit. Hasn't been there yet.
3-2. See if Parra's moving. He is. High, ball 4. So Hamill would pitch better in the second half than anybody in baseball, having a rough go of it here in the bottom of the first inning at Coors Field. 2 on now, 1 out for Ben Paulson. Well, what Nolan has said is that he has not been able to sustain the happy zone very long.
That's crazy. I would like to be in Nolan's happy zone if you're still never really getting into it that often and your numbers are 276, 31, 101.
Yeah, I mean, who would take that? The good news, as you said, he's hitting in the 270s, and you know there's a hot streak around the corner, because there always is with him.
That's what you always say. Look out. Someone's going to pay. At some point, if you're a good player, someone's going to pay. For today, it's Jason Hamill.
Hopefully Ben Paulson can make Hamill pay right here. Slashes at that pitch and fouls it off. Ben trying to get locked in. 2 for 18 since being called back to the big leagues. Well, last year he got a lot of big hits, and it seemed like he got a lot of big hits in close games late.
Ben Paulson had 276 last season with 38 RBIs. And a lot of those RBIs, they meant something.
Set up away, 0-2. And a ground ball picked off there by Bryant. High throw, safe everywhere. Bryant's throw to Baez took him off the bag, and the Rockies have him loaded for Tony Wolters. Well, right now, Chicago scuffling on defense here in the first frame, and you must take advantage.
Have to take advantage of these opportunities, and the Cubs, in their version of a shift with the double play situation, Baez isn't able to get there. Now you have Rizzo at first with an error, Chris Bryant at third with an error.
The two Cub MVP candidates, each contributing a miscue on defense, and Tony Wolters is having a really fine second half with the bat. Obviously, he doesn't play every day, but he has really picked it up offensively. That almost hit him just inside. Wolters 3 for 4 in his other start on the homestand, and that game included a home run and a double. His third home run of the year. He's hit safely in 12 of his past 16 starts to the tune of a .404 average.
Tony went big fly against Oliver Perez.
Tough lefty.
Yeah, second time in the season that Tony has put the ball in the second deck.
He's got some surprising pop. So his offensive confidence at a season high. 2-0. This ball lined to center field toward the gap. It'll score at least 2. The trail runner's Paulson. He'll stop at third. Wolters into second with a double. How do you like 5 runs in the first? Against the ERA leader in baseball in the second half.
Jason Hammel has given up 6 earned runs in 23 starts in the first inning. 5 already in this first inning. Tony Wolters continues to do damage with the bases loaded. 5 for 7 now with the bases loaded, and you just have to love the approach. The approach is short, it's sweet, it's simple.
That's an enormous at-bat, Billy, because he's hitting in the 8th spot in the lineup. There's 1 out. Stu Cole loves doing that. Look at this, a base hit from De La Rosa. That's going to score 2. 7 runs in the first inning. De La Rosa showing no respect for his former mate in the rotation from '09. 2-run single for De La Rosa, RBIs 4 and 5 on the season. And still, we have not seen Chris Bosio go to the mound.
This has not been a pretty inning for the Chicago Cubs and for Jason Hammel. Fastball out over the plate. Mentioned earlier, lefties were hitting less than 100 off of him in the second half.
I was just saying it was a huge at bat for Wolters, because if he makes an out there, 2 outs, you have the pitcher up, and there's a strong likelihood you don't get anything out of the bases loaded deal with 1 out. Tony not only throws out the double, but on the very first pitch, De La Rosa strokes a 2-run single. And here we go again with David Dahl, who got the rally started with a single to left. 7 runs in the first against Hammel. And it's 2-0. That's been a consistent theme here in the first inning as well. Offensive counts for the Rockies hitters. So the Rockies, for the second time on this homestand, have gotten after a top shelf pitcher in the first inning. They got 7 against Strasburg on Wednesday in the first frame. This is playable for Contreras as he battles the sun, and he drops it. The Cubs evidently did not get the wake-up call. They look sound asleep.
This inning couldn't go any better for a Rockies fan and any worse for a Cubs fan. That's just a straight clank. 3 errors now in the inning for the Chicago Cubs.
3 errors is a bad game. 3 errors in the first inning. What's that?
Bad inning.
good opening drive for the Broncos. Low-hanging fruit. This ball's in the air to left center field, pretty well hit. Fowler still going back, and he barely made that catch. I think he didn't realize how well that ball was hit.
That is closing speed for Dexter Fowler. There's not a worse feeling as an outfielder when you misjudge a fly ball. See Dexter having to turn it on towards the end. If he is 6'6", that's another double.
That ball fooled me off the bat. Do you think it was clicked that well?
With David Dahl, the way he hits behind the baseball, didn't sound like it wasn't well struck. It sounded clean. I didn't think it was going to travel to that location. It goes to show David Dahl's strength and how well it's carrying today.
DJ takes up and in on pitch number 36 of the first inning. Been a whole lot of things to photograph here from a Rocky standpoint in the bottom of the first. LeMahieu singled and scored. 11th man to hit here in the first. 1-1. And another base hit for LeMahieu. De La Rosa to second. Murphy, Daniel Murphy, by the way, had 3 hits, including a home run yesterday for Washington in Atlanta. He finished the day at 348. LeMahieu, who went 0 for 3, began the day at 341. Well, DJ's climbing back up with a 2 for 2 first inning. And here comes Cargo again. We don't often get to say this in the first inning, but we get tacos, folks. The Rockies have hit the magic number in the first inning. Don't forget to go to your participating Taco Bell tomorrow between 4 and 6 to receive your Rockies taco special. Liv Moss at Taco Bell. And Cargo hits this in the air to Dexter. That'll end the inning. 12 come to bat, 7 score for Colorado. That's called a nice start. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by the 2016 Toyota Tundra and your hometown Toyota stores. By UC Health, the game changers in medicine. By Coors Light, whatever your mountain, climb on. And by Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. It is Air Force Day at the ballpark, and the Rockies soared in that first frame as they put a 7 spot up. And the terrific head football coach of the academy will be joining us in a couple of innings. Look forward to that. Troy Calhoun will be up. Ben Zobrist will lead off for Chicago in the second. Jorge De La Rosa threw out a 2-run single in the first inning. As a pitcher early in a game, you still have to tell yourself, forget the scoreboard at 0-0 and pitch that way. But it's nice if you do glance up there to know that you're up 7 runs.
A lot more leeway, but at the same time, I think for pitchers, when you feel like you're in a pitcher's duel where you can't give in, sometimes you'll see the better pitchers show up than when they have a bit of a lead.
Zobrist fires at that pitch and he fouls it back.
I think if you're Jason Hamill and you look at how well you've had for your second half, the amount of runs you've given up, you look at the scoreboard, you see the 7 spot, and then you find out, hey, only 3 of them are earned.
I mean, every once in a while you see that kind of number thrown up in baseball, and you see it more frequently at Coors Field than virtually any place else. Having made that statement, think about the 2 guys that they've inflicted damage on this week. Again, Steven Strasburg came in as a 15-game winner. Jason Hamill, one of the lowest ERAs in baseball, 6-0 in the second half, as we were discussing, with an 0.95 ERA. Wasn't just anybody. Wasn't a guy getting a call up for the first time or somebody making an emergency start, back end of the rotation type guy.
These are guys. These are names, household names that are playing really well.
And Nolan really, to me, and that when you're one of the big guys, as you like to say, Spilly, you have to set the tone, and we know Nolan's been scuffling. Cargo upset with himself. RBI situation, first and third, didn't get enough of it to right field, and you're thinking, oh no, you know, Nolan rolls over here, you get nothing out of a first and third, nobody out situation. You end up with the opposite, and then look what followed. Strike 3 on Zobrist. 2 strikeouts for De La Rosa. That'll bring up Addison Russell. One day Addison Russell will be the answer to a trivia question. Remember a couple of years ago when the A's surprised baseball again with a bunch of no names, and they went for it, and they in the second half traded for some arms to bolster their playoff hopes. They picked up Jason Hamill and Jeff Samardzija from the Cubs, and they gave up one of their top prospects, among others, in Addison Russell. Well, the interesting thing is that after that season, good job by DJ, 1-4-3 on the putout. After that season, Hamill, who was traded just a couple months earlier by the Cubs, re-signed with Chicago.
You're looking at the New York Yankees. When you hear about Aroldis Chapman being traded from the Yankees to Chicago, similar situation. Cuban player, loves New York, that he might re-sign with the Yankees. And for Hamill, it ended up being a great move for him and his family. They signed a 2-year deal after that season, after being with Oakland. And that team, that 2014 Oakland team, they scuffled down the end, down to the wire.
And now Jeff Samardzija's back in the Bay Area, but on the other side of the bay, the ocean side of the bay, playing for the Giants. This is looped to shallow right. Getting out there is DJ, and a very strong second inning for De La Rosa. Contreras retired. Rockies leading 7-0. The number of walks and the distance the Rockies are in throughout the season. Start tracking your own steps today to get fit. So far this season, the Rockies have walked 396 times, 35,640 feet. This was the 1K, the UC Health 1K on the warning track this morning. Dinger participated in the walks. Billy, did you participate?
No. Was I supposed to?
You didn't get that memo. Hope you got your exercise in. You look healthy today. Feel healthy?
No, I was watching rhythmic gymnastics this morning. I didn't exercise.
Okay then. Nolan's first inning home run, behind in the count, and he launches one just fair. And the Rockies were off to a 3-0 start. They tack on 4 more in a 7-run first. An inning that saw the Cubs make 3 errors. It's the 5th time this year the Cubs have made 3 or more in a game. So Nolan leading the league in ribbies again with 101, as he did a year ago. Hamill's an aggressive guy as he's evolved as a pitcher. Sometimes he nibbled a little bit too much when he was in a Rockies uniform, but that fastball slider combination is his bread and butter. And this is going to drop. That's a sure sign that you're about to get healthy, right?
You like it when you can turn around a curveball, hanging curveball, keep it fair for a 3-run jack in the next inning. Fooled, but keep that barrel in the zone long enough that you can dump it into left field. Yeah, you're in a good spot. And I think when you look at the curveball and it's hanging, but off the plate, at times we've seen Nolan try to hit the ball opposite field. And I think when we look at a guy like Kris Bryant has a OPS, we talked about it the other day. Pull side, he's a pull hitter, and he's having a lot of success just being that type of guy. I think Nolan got away from his swing a little bit, trying to go a little bit more opposite field. So for me, seeing him swing and driving the ball left field today twice already is a good sign.
0-1 on Gerardo Parra. He hit a ground ball to first that Anthony Rizzo didn't handle. And it was costly to the Cubs. Gerardo would eventually score. Chases again, 0-2. last night it was the Rockies with some miscues. They made 2 in the ball game in losing 9-2. It's Jeff Hoffman's major league debut. 3 good innings, then ran into trouble in the 4th. And a little bit more in the 5th inning. I really like how he handled himself after the ball game. You learned a little bit more about the makeup of Jeff Hoffman, because there was a lot of things to like about what you saw last night. And truth be told, he gave up some seeing eye base hits that cost him. Maybe became a little bit more tentative once that happened. But he remained confident, and it wasn't a false confidence in that clubhouse afterward.
I talked to some of the Cubs hitters about what they saw when they face Hoffman. They go, I like his stuff. Stuff can play. So when another team's telling you, even though they had the hits off of him, you say, yeah, he's going to be good.
That's the true barometer. 1 on, nobody out. 2 strikes on Gerardo Parra. And that is a foul ball. Well, here is Jeff Hoffman in the clubhouse after the ball game. He was asked how nervous he was.
Felt very comfortable here. You know, I don't know why that was. I was really expecting to be nervous, to be jittery, all that stuff. But you know, I mean, you got a clubhouse of guys like this, and they make you feel welcome, and you go out there and everything's not so bad.
And he will build on that. We discussed this yesterday. There are lessons that can only be learned at this level.
Well, he had a good debut last night. Obviously, first 3 innings, he was fantastic. Second, third time through the lineup, that's something he's going to have to learn. But I think the person in his family had a better debut as Tyler Hoffman last night with Mark Stout.
Star, huh?
Superstar.
Met him downstairs after the game. Nice guy. Mark had a great interview with him. And that is fair, and that is a double play. It's unusual that you get the same play twice, and that's basically what Anthony Rizzo did. He had one that was just foul that would have been a double play, and that one was fair.
I don't think I've ever seen that, especially that type of play where it's a ground ball where you have the runner at first come back to first. Nolan was looking inside to the dugout to say he maybe got in there. Let's take a look on the Subaru Supermo. I think he's out. Unless Rizzo had the ball in his glove and never tagged Nolan with the ball. So if the glove is empty without the ball, he's safe.
They're going to look at it.
You should.
So Jeff Kellogg and Alan Porter will jog over to the third base line. Let's watch Rizzo. There's the out. Now he has to, it's a tag play now.
This one's gonna be a little interesting just because the ball is in his hand. He's getting the ball in his hand to make a throw.
Do you know what? From my vantage point, he should be out.
He should be out.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the hand kind of resting in the glove, holding the baseball. Love for him to be safe, but looking at it objectively, he should be out.
Alan Porter.
I mean, if there's separation, if there's like clearly hand, you're tagging with the glove,
yeah,
and
the ball's still in the other hand, yeah.
But I mean, his hands are together. He just got it in the heel of the glove. At least from that angle, it looks like he is. I don't know if we've seen one of these before, have we?
I can't remember. We've seen a lot of things already today that I haven't seen in a long time. 3 errors in the first inning. DJ 2 hits in the first inning for the second time this season. Nolan is called out.
Two outs, that'll bring up Descalso. Daniel worked out a walk his first time and then would score on Tony Walters' two-run double. How much fun was that first inning to watch?
I loved it.
Two and 0. Last time the Cubs made 3 errors in an inning was April 28, 2011. That was kind of a foreshadowing of things to come in 2011, wasn't it?
They weren't very good.
Finished 71 and 91. Three and one on Descalso. Now to Cal Davis. Did you ever play Cal Davis when you were at Santa Barbara?
That's where my sister went to school. Never played UC Davis, but visited quite a few times.
This ball's hit a long way foul. So she got all the brains in the family.
My sister's smart, lawyer in Santa Barbara.
Well,
she's smart.
Smart, yeah. Cal Davis, really good school. Santa Barbara's a good school. We just love to give you a hard time. Join in on the conversation today. Send us your thoughts, your statements, your photos via Twitter or Instagram. Use the hashtag Toyota Talk. Good AB going again for Daniel. Hamill's already thrown 59 pitches.
Rockies are giving the Cubs a little taste of their own medicine. The Cubs, one of the best teams in baseball as far as making a team work, making pitchers work and throw pitches.
Sharply hit, and that's a nice play at second by Baez. He's one of the better defensive second baseman in the league. The rising star Javier Baez. 7-0 Colorado. Day at the ballpark, and the Rockies are pleasing the home folks and all the folks that are affiliated with the Academy. They're up 7-0 as we go to the top of the third inning. Drew Goodman, Ryan Spilborghs, and we're joined, of course, by Mr. Twitter himself, the head coach of the Air Force Falcons. 10 years now for Troy Calhoun. Wow.
Well, you get younger and younger, Drew, wasn't it? Who was the guy that played quarterback for the Jets when they won Super Bowl III instead of what the next day had to bring? I mean,
Joe Willie.
I can't wait till tomorrow because you get younger every day, right? It was something like that. It wasn't quite exactly that, but pretty close.
You know what? When we get older, we start paraphrasing.
That's right.
And we take it as verbatim. Javier Baez is going to lead off against De La Rosa. You had to like that first inning. I said this the other day when you were on Twitter, and thank you for doing that again. Cargo!
Oh, my goodness.
Blaze out.
You know what? Ironically, we were sitting when Arenado hit that ball. I stood up. I have to tell you, it would have gone back to about 75, Game 6. I tried to wave that thing around the foul pole. Yeah.
It's like a defensive back knocking the ball away from the wide receiver right there.
See, that was one of the great questions you got the other night when you took over our Twitter account. Said what Rockies in your mind would make good cadets. You'd find a spot for the right fielder, wouldn't you?
Oh, athletically, most certainly, wouldn't you?
Oh,
I mean,
man.
with the power and the explosiveness and the range that he has. I'll tell you, it's been a fun team to watch, the Rockies. I mean, you look at some of the makings that they have with the younger players, with the pitching staff, with the position guys. You get Story back. Can't help but be fired up about the future of this club.
We're really excited about it. You talked about Trevor, and you've been watching David Dahl. I know you're busy right now, but I know how much you love baseball and love the Rockies. John Gray. Last night we see Hoffman, Tyler Anderson, Carlos Estevez, who's just getting a breather down in Albuquerque. There have been some great young players to come up this year, and the future is really bright. And the guy catching, Tony Walters, he's a gamer.
He sure is. Really, they have two really solid catchers, with him and Hundley. And they're fun to watch. I remember I was in a high school in Birmingham about 5 years ago, and they were talking about this kid in that area. They said, what a great athlete, tremendous baseball player he is. It was Dahl.
David Dahl.
Really?
Now, this has got to be his best outing of the year, Jorge's, thus far.
Jorge, he's one of those guys that deals with a lot of traffic. He's out of the stretch a fair amount, but at the end of the day, he not only wins a lot, but you're always in the game. And, Spilly played with De La. He's a very emotional guy, but he's a winner. I mean, think about this.
52-19 at Coors Field all time.
Right.
In a place where everybody says you cannot win here. It's hard to pitch here.
You know what's amazing? It defies gravity, or at least when you watch him throw here, he's got a little more movement. I don't know if it's more comfort on certain mounds. I imagine that's the case. For a pitcher, no different than it would be maybe for a quarterback playing in a home venue. He handles that quite well and very skilled when he throws here.
Hamill fouls that one off. We're going to make you stick around a little bit.
Yeah, it's too short of an inning.
Yeah.
We have all this stuff lined up for you.
We were talking about a guy, the name came up because the Air Force had two guys drafted. One of them was a Cherry Creek kid.
Griffin
Jacks got drafted this year in baseball. Two guys for the first time ever in Colorado Springs. Swung on and missed. Thiessen, years ago, he was a two-sport star. He got drafted in baseball also. You remember him, right?
Yeah, who's that?
Was it Thiessen?
In one, he was very good quarterback, very good infielder, also for the Academy.
There
yes, sir.
Go. Yep, pretty special stuff. Troy Calhoun will be back with us when we come back. The Rockies are soaring. They're up 7-0. Sunday afternoon, trying to take 2 of 3 from the Cubs, and they're in the right spot, up 7-0 as they hit here in the bottom of the third. Ben Paulson, Tony Walters, and Jorge De La Rosa. And Paulson fouls off that first offering. Drew Goodman, along with Ryan Spilborghs and Troy Calhoun, the head coach of the Air Force Falcons. And you're in the middle of camp. How's it going so far?
You know, it's gone really, really well, Drew. I mean, we've been 2.5 weeks, extremely physical, and there's some offset with that. You know, we got some guys that are dinged right now, but we've made good, you know, just really great progress. And you know, we got a bit more that has to, we got to see come forward.
You guys won the Mountain Division last year and finished 8-6, as I recall. It's going to be competitive. It always is, especially up and down that front range. And you were starting to allude to you really like what you have in the backfield skill-wise and on the back end, don't you?
You know, I think so. You know, you look at it, we have guys that have played, which is invaluable at the Air Force Academy. And, you know, the difference there, Drew, is obviously, you know, I think it's very, very difficult to play anywhere in college football as a freshman and even as a sophomore, certainly more so at the academy. And that's why it helps to have some of those older guys.
I'm always curious, how does the recruiting process work at an academy like the Air Force?
You know, it's Spilly, it's a bear, quite frankly. You know, you're seeking a guy that's a very strong student, somebody that's willing to serve on active duty following their time at the academy, but even more so while they go through the academy. The class load, the military and the leadership obligations that they have, and yet still want to find somebody athletically that's a pretty competitive
that
fella.
Bang, yeah,
that's right.
Punch somebody in the mouth. I'm curious, are there certain characteristic traits from your players that you're looking for? Are there certain schools, types of guys? Like how did they fall into suit for you?
Yeah, most certainly. You know, I want guys that are team captains. We want, you know, young men, young women at the academy that if you go visit with a trainer or somebody that's, you know, a teacher or a janitor or a principal or a coach, that is just adamant that they're as top shelf as they come, and then certainly being able to evaluate them athletically, feeling like it's somebody that could emerge. I'll tell you what else. I mean, we're just 2 and 3 sport athletes. Just absolutely end up having a little more upside for us.
It's hard to find those anymore.
It is,
because
Drew.
of the specialization.
You know, it is, unfortunately, and you know, you love it when kids have an opportunity when they're 14, 15, 16 years old to be exposed to playing baseball and then playing basketball, you know, in the falls, you know, playing football, whether you're a wrestler, you're in track or whatever it may be. And it's, you know, how many different situations are in football-wise when you've had to play shortstop in the spring or the summer, you know, and realizing all of a sudden if it's 3rd and 14, maybe give them a little bit of space and break forward. And, you know, your alertness, no different for a quarterback, too.
Are you finding yourself then that you're maybe recruiting other sport stars? You're seeing baseball players, basketball players, wrestlers, and you go, you know what? The type of person that they are, maybe we can get them to play football.
We do. I think it takes enormous self-discipline to play well a good number of sports. Golly, another extra base hit. This is flat awesome, guys.
How about this kid, Tony Walters? And he, you know what? He's going to turn it up and try for 3. He's safe. Got the hand in. Hesitated for a moment, and he has himself a triple. Spilly, he hit that a long way the other way.
He is turning himself, and we have to remember, he has never played AAA baseball. The Rockies grabbed him and never went above AA, so he is learning to make these adjustments at the major league level. His swing has gotten quicker, it's gotten shorter, and now that he's driving the ball opposite field, he is in some great place. We already know the type of athlete he is. And to your point, Coach, this is a former infielder turned catcher. You have to have that type of personality where you're willing to do things for the team. That kid standing at 3rd has done everything for the Rocks.
They're not going to give him a triple. It's a double and an error out in center field on Dexter getting that baseball back in, but he has really come around offensively.
It's fun to watch. You know, you see those guys even in baseball too, that how thick they are in their legs, you know, between their knees and their waist. Those guys make pretty good football players and good baseball players also. They have power.
You know what you have a lot of, and I've covered you guys for going on 3 decades, scary, but and Spilly's heard me say this a lot. My kids have heard me say this a lot. You have chip on the shoulder guys, and I mean that in a positive way. Guys that are always looking for some fuel that, okay, Ohio State didn't recruit him and they were a Midwest kid, or whatever the situation is. You have guys that are really driven. That's what Tony Walters is. The Rockies have a full dugout of those guys. DJ LeMahieu, 6'4", second base. Everybody wanted him to be something perhaps he wasn't, and that fuels him. Chip on the shoulder guy.
Well, the intangibles, Drew, to which you speak. I mean, the passion that you have for an activity, to play 162 games, the amount of time that's spent in spring training, or in the case of football, you know, spring football, off-season workouts, or just reaches a point as you get later in a year. Guys that flat love what they do, the enthusiasm and the verve they bring to the dugout or the practice field or the gridiron, whatever that may be. It's infectious in a really positive way, and it's fun being around people like that.
Absolutely. De La Rosa's helped his own cause already with a 2-run single, and he's battling away. It's 2-2. We're excited. We're going to have you, I think, in our opener, if I remember right, at your opener. Maybe it's our opener, whatever. We have you early in the season on Root Sports. We've typically had you guys a couple of times, and that's exciting for all of us. Spilly's going to go down for the first time.
Yeah,
he's going to have an
well,
opportunity.
I noticed that you guys
Stadium.
you're 12-0 at Falcon Stadium in the last 2 seasons, and another error for the Cubs. That'll make it 5.
Wow. They get the out.
I want to go to Falcon Stadium. What makes it so special?
You know, Spilly, I think everything that's involved, you know, I mean, you'll never be a part of a venue and an atmosphere. Just unbelievable patriotism, you know, whether it's the parachuters, an F-15 or an F-16 scooting over in a hurry right at the time of kickoff, all the pageantry, the cadets, and just flat knowing that these young men and young women have made the sacrifice, made the commitment to be a leader and be an officer for our country, and yet still to play competitive football too.
Well, it's got to take a lot of pride for, I'm sure, your cadets, because they are fans of their football team in a way that's different than any other major college football fandom.
No question, they're splendid. I mean, the enthusiasm that they have, and you see them directly across the way from our bench. And we're a small school. We only have 4,000 students. Yet I think amongst the alumni, and certainly amongst our student body, our cadet wing, the effort and again, you know, just the diligence and the sacrifice that they put forth, it is pretty amazing. It really is for somebody at that age to make that kind of commitment.
Well, you don't think about it. You don't see it that often where the cadets and the guys on the field are all essentially pulling in the same direction. They are all in it together, serving together. They're fighting with each other as far as what they're going to move forward with. That's extremely unique, I think, in all sports.
I think it absolutely is, you know, and they all have the same experience.
Exactly.
You know, you come in, you go through basic training, you're going to take 18 or 21 semester hours academically, and then ultimately, if you're able to earn your degree from the academy, to go forth and go serve as an officer in the United States Air Force.
Well, first and foremost, I know I speak for everybody out there, we are so proud of what your young men and the women at the Academy do. Number one, to protect our country. And number two, we all root heavily for the Falcons on Saturday afternoon. Troy, good luck this year.
Thanks, Drew.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Coach.
Billy.
Rockies are up 7-0, and Tony Walters already having a big game today. He's got ribbies, he's got that triple, he's got that double, and I had a chance to talk to Tony. It was an interesting Friday because the Cubs and the Rockies had a rain delay, and the tarp was on in the afternoon. And you guys were ready for BP, but it didn't happen. Well, Gerardo Parra played with Miguel Montero in Arizona, and Parra invited Tony Walters to meet Miguel Montero. And last night, Spilly and Drew were talking about how Montero is a big talker. Well, Miguel has invited him to work out with him in Arizona this offseason, and Tony is so excited to learn more from a guy that's caught more than 1,000 games in the big leagues. And you were talking about this is game, I think, 46 behind the plate for Tony Walters. So that's going to be part of his offseason plans, guys.
Hey, Mark, that's a great story, and it's funny that you bring that up. Before the ball game today, Spilly and I were kicking some topics around, and one of them was Tony Walters and how he's really emerging.
Yeah.
And you said, Spilly, that his swing reminds you of Miggy's.
And if you look beyond just the swing, yeah, I think the swing reminds me a little bit of Miguel Montero. Montero obviously swings for a lot more power than Tony Walters does. But looking beyond that at the receiving skills, Tony Walters ranks 11th out of major league catchers in framing runs. Miguel Montero ranks 6th, and that's in a limited role. So you look at these two guys, they really do a great job of making sure that they call a good game and receive a good game.
Dexter Fowler at the plate with a 3-0 count. De La Rosa has begun the day retiring the first 9 he has faced. Rockies up 7-0. They have 8 hits. Dexter bounced to second his first time up. And he takes that low, ball 4. One more note on Montero. Last night he drove in 3 and threw out a couple of hits. Joe Maddon wouldn't commit this early to what they're going to do in the postseason. Last postseason they had 3 catchers active on their roster, which is somewhat unusual. David Ross is the caddy for Arrieta and Lester, so you know he's going to be in the postseason. Wilson Contreras, who's now caught 2 of the 3 games in this series, they love him. He's hitting in the 270s.
Yeah, he's the future.
He's a rookie, but you're right, he's their future. And so the question is, does the high-priced veteran, who's one of the leaders of the Cubs in that clubhouse, is he on the postseason roster in Miguel Montero?
Those are going to be decisions for people higher pay grades than we will ever have, and those are good problems to have too. If you're looking at the Chicago Cubs, the numbers may not suggest it with Miguel Montero, hit less than 200, but the receiving abilities of Miguel Montero at this point are better than Wilson Contreras. And I think we know what the name of the game is once you get into the playoffs. It's what? Pitching and defense.
This is a double play ball. Chris Bryant grounds into a 6. No. Wow. That shocked me right there. That told me something that I did not realize about Bryant.
I told you the other day.
He got up the line.
Chris Bryant has grounded into 3 double plays all season long in over 125 opportunities. That's the lowest percentage in baseball from a guy that has 31 home runs. That's some kind of athlete.
Spilly, that's the old tailor-made double play, because that ball was hit with great authority right at Descalso. Good feed to LeMahieu, good throw to first, and he just beat it. Want to know on Rizzo. Yeah, I love visiting with football coaches.
They fire me up.
They fire you up, don't they? Troy Calhoun's great. He's averaged just under 9 wins a season in his 10 years at the academy. seems like his name always crops up when there's a major job. We've seen his name crop up on a couple NFL jobs also, including the Broncos a few years ago. De La's behind 2-0 on Rizzo. He struck him out on a 3-2 splitter his first time.
It's amazing when you hear the challenges that Coach Calhoun has to deal with, and that it's not the normal recruiting that most teams go through. You have to find people willing to serve the country and have the mental fortitude to take as tough a classes as they have at the Air Force Academy, and then spin it into not only the basic training, but go into training camp for football.
They, in their notes, they do this in basketball. I know they do this in football as well. That's a strike, 3-1. They will put out, they'll take one of their athletes and they'll put in the notes their schedule for the day. And they're all up at before 6 a.m. At 6 a.m. and it's marching, and then it's breakfast, and then, you know, the classes, aeronautical engineering. It's, I mean, stuff you can't even pronounce. And that's also strike 3-2. And then it's practice, then it's lifting, then it's dinner, then it's 3 hours of study, and then it's lights out. And then the next day they do the same thing. I mean, it's really a remarkable commitment that they make, and just never as proud as when you're down at the academy. This ball's going to go through the right side, a base hit for Rizzo. He had one of those last night against Jeff Hoffman. 2 on and 1 out. But those guys and gals are joy to be around. So that's the first hit for the Cubs. It comes with 1 out in the 4th inning by Rizzo. That'll bring up Zobrist.
We'll see how this inning plays out, and it's something that will not show up in the box score, but Chris Bryant busting to get down to first base, preventing a double play, allowing the Cubs an extra out this inning.
Because the guys in front of Zobrist get on base so much. This is Zobrist's 128th at bat this year with a runner in scoring position, which is 4th most in baseball. 2 of the 3 guys in front of him are his teammates, Russell and Rizzo. Number 1, and this to me is shocking. Number 1 in the National League, Spilly, you wouldn't get if I gave you a month.
Okay.
I'm telling you, you would not get this if I gave you a month to come up with the name. So therefore, I'm going to tell it to you. Nick Markakis.
What?
Right? Of the Atlanta Braves, who are awful and can't score. Nick Markakis somehow has had 136 at bats with guys in scoring position. Am I right? You wouldn't have gotten that in a month.
I would never have gotten that.
I would never have gotten it. 2-1 on Zobrist. And this could be a double play ball. And it will be. So the Rockies get a 6-4-3. De La Rosa gave up his first hit. No harm done. They're up 7-0. Middle of 4 at Coors Field. Greater coverage of baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. 2009 Rockies starting rotation, Spilly remembers it well. They just kept rolling out the rotation every day, and it's one of the reasons the Rockies had a franchise best 92 wins. De La Rosa 16-9, Hamill 10-8 with a 445. Ubaldo 115, Marquis 115. He was an all-star that year. Aaron Cook 111. And the Rockies went, I think it was the first 155 games before somebody not named De La Rosa, Jimenez, Marquis, Cook, or Hamill started a game. That's extraordinary.
It's extraordinary, but it's also, that's what happens when you keep a starting rotation together and they stay healthy. You can see these numbers play out. I believe it's only been 9 different starting pitchers for the Chicago Cubs this season. Same type of thing. When you keep your starting rotation down to a group of guys, you're in such a better spot. I think it was, what, 2 years ago with the Rocks that they had over, what, 21 different starting pitchers?
Yeah, that's not going to work.
It's not, it doesn't work.
Not typically, at least. Leadoff walk to LeMahieu, so he's 2 for 2. And the free pass, and that'll bring up Cargo. Cargo made 2 of the 3 outs in that first inning. I'm sure he wasn't happy about that. Payback on his mind right now.
DJ had 2 hits in that first inning, and it's remarkable. It's the second time he's done it this season.
Strike called by Alan Porter, so it's 0-1. Cargo 0 for 6 lifetime against Hamill. Good to see Cargo in there day game after a night game. First time he's been able to do that in a while. Ankle's getting better. 1-1. Well, LeMahieu with the 2 hits today is up to 344. He does have a pretty swing, MC. And Murphy's 0 for 3 down in Atlanta, so he's at 346. So was a 7-point separation to start the day in the batting race, now just 2. Cargo with a base hit up the middle, and this toward right center field. Cargo is gonna go for 2. Here's the throw by Dexter, not even close, cut off in fact, and it's a double for Carlos.
Cargo knew it just right off the bat, how hard he hits it. This ball's probably going to end up being over 100 miles an hour. DJ read it really well, right through the shift. The Cubs implored the shift today against Cargo, and you see him pull it straight through it. Cargo, this is the thing that you have to appreciate with Carlos Gonzalez. No matter what, he has been running hard the entire time. I know that sounds funny to say. Oh yeah, he's running hard. Shouldn't he be running hard? He's one of the highest paid players on the team. Effort is really difficult to give day in and day out. And Cargo right off the bat knew there was a potential for a double standing on second base. Important for him.
This ball's crushed to deep left. Nolan has done it again. Another 3-run jack up on the concourse. We said it earlier. When he breaks out, look out. He's got himself a 6 RBI ball game, and we're still in the 4th. And the Rockies are at double figures.
Now you can smile, Nolan. All that hard work you've been putting in. Fastball up and in. Pulls his hands in tight. Trying to keep that body upright so he can get the barrel through the zone. This ball went a long way right onto the concourse.
And now he is by himself atop the National League in home runs.
Oh, man. Quiet lower half, quiet head movement. That has to feel so good, not just for Nolan, but for the other people, the coaching staff, the guys behind the scene that you don't see that are in there working, grinding away, throwing the extra BP.
Parra takes that pitch. It's 2-1. Still nobody up in the Cubs bullpen. Last night, Montgomery made an emergency start. And then Trevor Cahill, their long guy, got the win because he went 4 2/3. Montgomery was great. He gave up 1 hit. It was a home run to Hundley in 4 1/3. Basically, right now, Joe Maddon's, I guess, asking Jason Hammel to wear it. They do have Zatrinsky up now on the left side. He pitched in the game on Friday. Ten runs, 10 hits, no errors, no runs, 1 hit for the Cubs, and 4 errors. One of the beautiful things about this, beyond the scoreboard, is the fact that all the Rockies fans are easily drowning out the Cubs fans this afternoon.
Rockies scored the touchdown in the first inning and just kicked the field goal.
Good swing by Parra.
It's important looking at where Nolan has hit the baseball today. Pull side. And that is a result of the fact that Nolan's head, it's not moving a ton. See the body constantly pushing his chest upright. That allows the hands to not have such a steep plane. When you're falling over with your chest over your center of gravity, you lose your barrel. I think watching Nolan, you see him just trying to constantly stand up tall. Get in your legs, but stand up tall. Keep the chest up, and you're seeing now the good solid approach, the solid path through the baseball. Now he's smiling.
Baseball is fun again.
Cargo having fun with them.
Parra lines this ball to right, and it's gloved out there by Zobrist. That's the first out of the 4th inning. Gonna bring up Descalso. 8:21:16 the day Nolan started hitting and never stopped. Watch out, NL West. .97 pitches. Joe Maddon is going to take the baseball from Jason Hammel. It's his first hiccup in a long time. He came into this ball game 6-0 with an .095 in the second half. 10-0 Colorado. Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Tavern Downtown. Visit Tavern Downtown after Rockies home games. Get 2-for-1 draft beers with your same-day ticket. The Rockies are enjoying this one, and they've enjoyed it since the first batter of the game. David Dahl threw out a base hit. Rockies got 7 in the first, and Nolan Arenado is officially healthy again with the bat. 2 3-run home runs and a single today. And the new pitcher is Rob Zastryzny. And Rob's first pitch called a strike on Daniel Descalso. He replaces Jason Hamill, whose second half ERA ballooned from 0.95 to 2.40. Not that there's anything wrong with a 240 earned run average. Just the second big league appearance for Rob Zastryzny. Spilly, I want you to say Zastryzny 3 times as fast as you can. Ready, go.
Zastryzny. Got it. Now I'm going to call him Rob for the rest of the game.
Now I want you to say, hold on, 1 and 2. Strike 3.
Strike 3.
Zastryzny throws to Caesar.
No chance. Zastryzny throws to Caesar. That's a tongue twister.
Two outs. That'll bring up Ben Paulson. Ben's 0 for 2. Reached on an error in the first. What do you think? There, stand up, Matt, so we can see your name. What do you think the embroiderer for the Cubs? Listen, we got Matt Caesar. Put Caesar on the back of uniform 20, and we got our kid Zastryzny coming up. Put that on the back of the jersey. They're thinking somebody jumbled a bunch of letters. This can't be right.
We're out of Z's. Can't do it.
Exactly. Got to buy a buy a vowel somewhere in there. Rockies up 10-0. 2 3-run jacks from Arenado.
Thrown out by none other than Rapids keeper Tim Howard, of course also of the U.S. national team, the most capped keeper in U.S. history. And he joins me now just to say hello. A lot of people thrilled that you got out here to Colorado to continue your career with the Rapids. What was it like throwing out the first pitch today?
Well, it was daunting. I was nervous, you know. I usually play in front of all these thousands of people, but getting out there, I can see why it's so tough to be a pitcher.
Yeah, you're usually catching balls, so to speak, than throwing them.
Correct. Yeah, I can just kind of heave them far. I don't have to really aim at anything, so it was good. I'm glad Nolan caught it.
I know you grew up in New Jersey. Were you a Mets fan, a Yankees fan? Did you play some baseball?
I was a fair weather fan. So when the Mets were in the World Series in the 80s, I was a Mets fan. And then when the Yankees dominated the 90s, I was a Yankees fan.
There's a home run, by the way, by the Cubs, but we'll
That's why we're doing the interview.
That's why so did you play a lot of baseball growing up? Because I know, I always contend that America has great keepers because they play a lot of sports and hand-eye coordination works well.
Yeah, I did. I played baseball until I was about 11 years old, and then soccer took over, fortunately, or unfortunately.
And soccer originally, I think you were a midfielder.
Yes, I was. I played every position. I was a hyperactive kid, so anywhere I could be on the field, that's where they put me.
Did you think your career would get to where you are now, where you started in MLS with the Metro Stars, ended up playing for Man U, for Everton, the national team, and here you are in Colorado, back in the U.S.?
I hoped so. I dreamt it, and so the fact that it came to fruition was a dream come true for me. I'm super happy to be here in Colorado. This is a great organization, on the up and up, trying to do wonderful things. So I've been lucky.
Yeah, the team's playing well. Drew?
Yeah, you know what, Mark? Had a quick question for Tim Howard.
Yeah.
Thrilled he's in town as well. I will, and Mark, I don't know a ton about soccer, but I will never forget that game because I watched the whole thing that he put together against Belgium in 2014. How often do people come up to him, like I am doing, I guess, right now, and bring up the Belgium game?
The Belgium game with the 15 saves. I mean, you must hear it all the time.
Yeah, it's nice. I think for any athlete, it's nice to have that one shining moment. You work your entire career for it. There's been some work in between there, but yeah, people seem to remember that 2014 World Cup, so I'll take it.
I don't remember it because I'm from Belgium, so I don't like it.
From Belgium. The Red Devils.
Well, they won the game, so they can be happy about that.
You scored a goal in the EPL, right?
I did.
How many keepers have scored?
Not many. Yeah, I'm one of very few.
Like you can count on one hand.
Yes, I think so.
Well, what do you think of Coors Field? I know that you're making your home here at least this part of the year.
Yes, it already feels like home. I've only been here 6 weeks, but I tell you what, I don't get to enough baseball games. When I come out here a day like today, I should come out a lot more, and they're winning 10-0, so maybe I should come a lot more often.
We'll take that. Tim,
Mark Ascott, Nolan and Tim had a little chance to spend some time together. What were they talking about? Is that a friendship that they want to build on?
Nolan Arenado caught your first pitch.
Yes.
Have you talked to Nolan? Have you befriended him? What did he say to you today?
Well, we chatted a bunch beforehand, and he's very knowledgeable about soccer. He hit 2 home runs today, so I'm hoping I'll get a personal invite back. Maybe there's a connection there.
Soccer's grown so much. Even Adam Ottavino is one of our relievers, and he's a guy from Brooklyn. He told me that he made a point of talking to you, too.
Yeah, again, I was amazed how many of the professional athletes, all these baseball players, they know soccer. They know it inside and out. They know the players, the games, the scores. It's impressive. So hopefully we can get them out to our home field and watch the game.
Yeah, we'll get them out to Dick's. I know the team has been playing well. Keep it going. Get some more clean sheets. I know you guys had a clean sheet last night, and it's a thrill to have you on. Thanks, Tim.
Thanks for having me.
All right, guys.
All right, Mark, that's awesome. What a thrill having, from the United States perspective, from the Premier League perspective, a legend here playing keeper for the Rapids. That's awesome. What a good guy as well. Javier Baez with a 2-1 count. The home run by Addison Russell makes it 10-1. Strikeout of Contreras was the 5th for De La Rosa. Now he falls behind 3-1. He's trying to cool off the Cubs, win a series against them as they did in Chicago earlier this year. Just the 5th team, or one of 5 teams, I should say, because they were the first to do it. It was back in April, to win a series at Wrigley this year. Cubs 19-4 their last 23 games. I like this kid at the plate, Javier Baez. He's going to get his A swing off, that's for sure, and he could pick it.
He could pick it, and Baez's name for the last couple years kept getting tossed around as far as trade rumors, just because he was blocked. Starlin Castro was playing second base. Addison Russell started playing shortstop. The Cubs did not want to get rid of this kid for anything.
Got a piece of that. Keeps the bat alive. 3-2. It's one of the neat things about the Denver sports scene, and it's not atypical in other big cities that have a multitude of professional teams, and I know you went through it playing for years with the Rockies, Bill. You get to know some of the other athletes in town, Broncos, Nuggets, Avalanche. This ball's in the air to Parra in left, and the Rapids, there's so many professional lacrosse, and it's it's neat because they all support each other, it seems like, especially here in Denver.
You almost have to, just because Denver's not a huge city, really. It's not that big, and you appreciate, because your sport is better when you have the cross-pollination of, hey, we got basketball players watching our games. We have Broncos guys at the Rockies games. Rockies are going to watch the Broncos. Nuggets are at the, you know, when you have all the different major sports in town supporting each other, it makes yourself proud to be part of this community.
Matt Caesar at the plate. Well, last night, as we were trying to drive home, 122,000 people were trying to do the same thing because the Rockies game let out with close to 50,000 here at the same time that the Broncos preseason game against the Niners let out with about 72,000 people.
And then out by where I live in Stapleton, a lot of people were coming out from watching the Colorado Rapids game.
Think about the number of people who are at one of those 3 sporting events.
You gotta feel fortunate if you live in Colorado.
1 ball, 1 strike on the left fielder, Matt Caesar.
Take a behind-the-scene tour of Coors Field. Group and individual tickets available year-round. Call 303-ROCKIES.
Taylor's been efficient. This is his 67th pitch. And he gets weak contact to short. Descalso fires. And after the home run by Russell, De La Rosa gets the next 3. As we go to the bottom of the 5th, the Rockies 10 and the Cubs 1. Here's our first bank game recap. You're going to love it. The Rockies got 7 in the first. They added a 3-run shot from Nolan Arenado, who had 1 in the first also. He's got 6 ribbies. And the Rockies lead 10-1. That is our first bank game recap. And first pitch to Tony Walters is high and in. That's what happens when you drive the ball all over the ballpark your first couple of times. You get a little chin music. Tony's got a 2-run double and another double in this ball game. He's 2 for 2. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rockies leading 10-1. Rob Zastryzny is on for Jason Hamill, who gave up 10 runs, 6 earned. A couple of walks, couple of strikeouts. Walters and then De La Rosa. De La Rosa's been involved offensively also today.
I think when we watch Tony Walters and his growth, you have to pay attention to where he is from the start of the season to where he's at now. And since the All-Star break, 18 for 39.
So Strizny able to strike out Tony. 1 out. Second strikeout for Rob Zastryzny. I want to see how many times I can say Zastryzny this half inning.
Let's go for it. I'll keep it tally. Zastryzny.
You're supposed to read that, by the way, right now.
No, they told me.
They told you after the pitch?
Yeah. The first 10,000 through the gates on Tuesday, August 30th will receive a 2016 Colorado Rockies team poster without Rob Zastryzny in it.
Spilborghs to Zastryzny.
Not
to Caesar. How would that fan in New York, he said, Spilligus, get on the bus right now. How would he deal with Zastryzny?
probably yell, hey, you sandwich. Go straight to the bus.
And take Spilligus with you.
Yeah.
Dela taking the whole way, 2-1. That is foul. That Dela throwing out line drives all over the yard today.
Nice happy zone.
5 ribbies after the 2-run single in the first. Do not let him. This comes back. I'm not talking about De La Rosa right now. Bill Hanslick, our buddies, come to the booth, and he was trying to do something to your scorebook. Hanslick knew very little about basketball. He was just a good player.
Yeah, he was tall.
He was tall. He knew very little about basketball, and he knows next to nothing about baseball. All right, so don't let him touch your book. And the 2 distinguished gentlemen with him are generals, so don't say anything wrong right now. Air Force generals, because it's Air Force Academy Day at the ballpark. Why they're hanging out with you, I have no idea. I know what it is. I just stated that. I said, why are they hanging out with you? The perplexing things in life, and that is certainly one of them. My neighbor. Inside on Dahl, 1-2. And Zastryzny strikes out David Dahl. So it's a 1-2-3 inning in the 5th. We move to inning number 6. Rockies trying to win this series against the Cubs. They're in a good place to do it. Rockies leading Air Force Falcon Day, as we've been talking about. And here's our Coors Light Cold Hard Facts, brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. So The Air Force Falcon was chosen as a mascot back in 1955. 12 to 15 Falcons actually live on campus. Falconry is an extracurricular activity at the academy, and you have to have a whole lot of hours if you're going to fly a Falcon and train Falcon at a sporting event. First pitch swinging, and one out. And I like the one at the bottom. We say that Falcons can attain a velocity of 200 miles per hour, stoops and dives. The Falcon's eyesight is 8 times sharper than humans. And it got me thinking, Spilly. I mean,
Oh, great. Here we go.
No, I mean, how do we measure that? Did the Falcon like go to the eye doctor, and on the chart he covered one of his eyes? He goes A-E-I-O-U.
No, the U is an N, so yeah, you failed.
So
no,
he failed?
I have
how do
no
we know
idea.
he has 8 times better vision, or she does, than
How do we know dogs see in black and white?
Yeah, I'm not buying that either.
I think that Falcon right there is named as Ace. The other Falcon, I can't remember the name, but it was named after a character on NCIS. Is that a show? Like the
Yeah.
Yeah, they named him after a character.
Really?
Yeah. I met the Falcon this morning, walking through.
Did you get to hold the Falcon?
No, they would not let me touch the Falcon.
Smart handler. Dexter takes inside, 2-1. No, I am curious how they determine that. People way smarter than us figured that out. Maybe it's because, you know, the birds, they fly over and they see fish from, you know, they're 150 feet in the air. They see a fish, they dive bomb in, they come up with a fish, and you and I have our fishing pole and we're like 15 feet away and we can't catch anything. I think that's how we've discovered that they have better eyesight.
It has to be.
Dexter 0 for 1 and a walk. We spent a lot of time talking to Dexo for this weekend. I know you guys remain close friends. This is on the ground short. Daniel will throw him out. You can just tell what a good place he's in personally and how much he enjoys being with his teammates. It's a great group they have in Chicago, and it's made easier. When you're winning a lot, life is good.
Life is great. 34 games over 500, everything flies, and that's a unique group in that it's a melting pot of just different types of characters, and they all mesh so well. I hear people raving about David Ross. David Ross's last season. Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo set up an Instagram account for him, Grandpa Rossi, which is kind of soaking up the last season, which is great. Something that we enjoyed last year with LaTroy Hawkins, 2 years ago with him, and just watching him enjoy baseball. There's something to be said when you have a group of guys that can enjoy the baseball game, because it's a grind.
This is a rollover from Bryant. Descalso handles this one. Another 1-2-3 inning from De La Rosa. With all the runs on the board, his magnificence today has been overshadowed. He's been marvelous. There's the Falcon with great eyesight.
CenturyLink high-speed challenge poll question. Who is the only Rockies player to hit 2 inside the park home runs in the same season? Is it Ellis Burks, Clint Barmas, or Brandon Barnes? Go to rootsports_RM to vote. I know the answer, by the way.
I'm pretty sure I know the answer.
Don't say it.
I'm not going to say it. I'm not even going to give hints. 'Cause Allison will get really mad if I do that. Allison B. Hill, our producer. Pitch misses. 2-0 on DJ. It's LeMahieu, Gonzalez, Arenado. Looking in the lineup, and the Rockies have done damage up and down the lineup. Tony Walters, couple doubles, 2 ribbies out of the 8th spot. Jorge had a base hit to drive in 2 in the first. LeMahieu 2 for 2 and a walk. Gives him even greater pleasure to do damage against the Cubs' original team. This is on the ground at third. Bryant with a high throw, and coming down on the bag is Rizzo. Before DJ got his foot on the bag. That would have been the 5th error. They have 4, and they have, is there a category almost? They almost errors? They have 2 in that category.
Sure, they have 5 total, 4 total with 2 almost errors. And this is probably the most dangerous play on a baseball field, when a first baseman has to leave his feet and try to find the bag. And not only that, oftentimes you'll see the first baseman land on a part of the bag that interferes with the base runner. 3 days ago, we had the collision at first base with Charlie Blackmon and Gio Gonzalez.
That's why Charlie's not playing right now. He's able to play the next 2 days, and then it really flared up. So Charlie has basically missed this entire series. He did have 1 pinch hit appearance. Hopefully Charlie back in there in Milwaukee. Rockies open up a 3-game set against the Brewers at Miller Park tomorrow night. We hope you'll join us for that. No excuses. The Olympics are over.
My son and daughter, Kiera and Tatum, are going to be really disappointed that the Olympics are over. They really enjoyed the Olympics for the last 2 weeks.
You know, our family as well. We just every night.
They loved it.
It's the best. It really is. Cargo fouls that off. Cargo a double his last at bat. That's Cargo's 32nd double of the year. 2-2.
Since we're having so much fun with the names of Zastryzny. Zastryzny was a 2nd-round draft pick for the Cubs in 2013 out of Missouri.
Cargo with a hot shot to short, and that'll be a base hit. Good play by Russell just to make it interesting. Cargo's got his 2nd hit. And here comes Nolan Arenado.
Nolan's in a great place today with the 2 home runs, and anytime he starts pulling the baseball and pulling it with power, you know he's in that great spot. For me, it's watching his chest. The chest is up. That allows his hand to come straight through the baseball. Getting that finish on his backside. Game's fun. Yay! Baseball's fun again.
Curveball for a strike, 0-1. 3 for 3, 2 3-run jacks, 6 RBIs, 104 for Nolan. Came into the ball game 4 for his previous 35. But think about this. He is still despite the slump and despite, by his own observation and self-evaluation, has not stayed warm for very long at all this year. He still has the most RBIs in the National League in the second half. This is back up the middle. This will be a base hit. Nolan's got a 4-hit ball game. Oh, when he walks up the stairs to the airplane later, he'll be smiling broadly.
Now you're just finding holes in. That's when things are going well. Rob's gonna back kick it like it's a hacky sack, and you get a hit out of it. Sometimes you'll see a guy line a ball right up the middle off a player, they catch it, that's an out.
I'm gonna tell him how happy I am for him, because I thought he was gonna get sent out.
You thought he was gonna get sent out?
Yeah.
There's rumblings about it.
Gerardo at the plate with 2 on and 1 out. On the outside corner for a strike. It's the 7th 4-hit game of Nolan's career. He has never had a 5-hit game. He will have an opportunity later on in the game, provided Walt doesn't take him out. When a team's really busy and players are appreciative of this, that their manager will give them a couple innings off in a blowout. But with Nolan having 4 hits, I'm betting he stays in there. Oh, 2. Rizzo and Arenado, a couple all-stars catching up.
They're looking at Gerardo Parra's numbers this season, and it's been a bit of a struggle in the second half. The number that's really striking, he doesn't see a lot of pitches per plate appearance to begin with. 3.54 is his career average, but this season by far his lowest, 3.3. Not a lot of pitches.
2 outs. That's really hard to do. It's one of the reasons he has walked only 4 times, which is virtually impossible for a guy that has 295 at bats.
By comparison, DJ LeMahieu sees on average 4.05 pitches per plate appearance. Almost an entire pitch, and it doesn't seem like, oh, it's just one pitch or it's even points. It's a lot over the course of the year. It's a lot of pitches.
Blackman the same way.
The Rockies have done pretty well as far as a group. They rank 9th best in baseball, seeing 3.9 pitches per plate appearance as a team. So that's a good improvement over years past where we saw a lot of quick, short at bats.
Descalso 0 for 2 and a walk. Daniel figures to be in there quite a bit in Milwaukee. Rockies will see 3 right-handed starters. Jimmy Nelson, Chase Anderson, the former Diamondback, and Zach Davies. Davies had a good year for Milwaukee. Nine and 6 with a 4.18 ERA for a club that struggled. 3 and 1. Milwaukee's getting beat in Seattle, 6-3 in the 7th. They lose that ball game, that'll be 7 straight losses for the Brew Crew. You never know how you look at that. Do you look at it, we're getting them at the right time, or you're getting them at the wrong time? Billy, how'd you look at that when you were playing?
You look at it like you're catching him in at the right time. But then but then when you lose, you go, well, they're bound to win at some point.
Bases loaded for Ben Paulson the day after every Rockies win. Get 50% off your online order at Papa John's. Use the promo code ROXWIN at papajohns.com. Ben reached on an error in the first to strike out and a fly ball to left field. (10-1) Colorado. This ball is pulled foul with authority. What are you seeing from Ben?
Really like to see him just find his happy rhythm. When he's at his best, he hits the ball really hard opposite field. But the rhythm and timing for him just doesn't seem there. Not quite yet. The numbers kind of suggest it as well. 4 for his last 41.
He got caught in between, it looked like, on that fastball. It's a strike, and it's 1-2. Cargo singled, Nolan singled, a walk to Descalso.
I mean, if anything, it looks like he's just a click behind. And it's such a small margin that when you're late, you foul off pitches that you should be hitting. And it's harder for you to recognize the pitch.
So Ben goes down. The Rockies leave him loaded in the 6th. We turn the page to inning number 7. Colorado 10 and the Cubs 1. A visual look back at this ball game. Our Cooney Lexus look back. Nice slide by Tony Walters. Seen that twice today with 2 men aboard from Nolan Arenado. It's a day for hugs amid the sunshine at Coors Field. The Rockies beating up the Cubs 10-1. Drew Goodman, Ryan Spilborghs, Mark Stout, and our entire Root Sports crew. Anthony Rizzo at the plate. De La's still out there in the 7th inning. He's thrown, Spilly, just 77 pitches. I said it earlier, because of all the offensive fireworks, his performance has been overshadowed. He's got a 2-hitter going.
It's been great today for De La Rosa. Really, the first inning took a lot out of the Cubs. Haven't seen the quality of bats in general. You also tip your cap to De La Rosa for making his pitches.
That'd be fun to see, Brandon. It's a 2-0, and that misses 3-0. Rizzo takes the whole way. What you're obligated to do when you're down by 9 runs. Run on 2 hits. The run was an Addison Russell home run. And Rizzo takes strike 2. Anthony has the other hit. That was in the 4th inning. A single through the shift on the right side. Three-two ground ball. Paulson will do it himself. 1 out. So the starter today for the Cubs was Jason Hammel, and it bears repeating. He came into this ball game 6-0 in the second half with an 0.95 ERA. That was by far the best work of any starting pitcher in the second half in baseball. And he gives up 10 runs, 6 of them earned. He gave up 10 runs in a game on July 1st against the Mets. He becomes only the second Cubs pitcher ever to give up 10 runs or more in a game twice in the same season. The last fella to do it, Sheriff Blake, in 1930.
Did you just drop Sheriff Blake?
I dropped a Sheriff Blake on you. I don't know what it is.
Is that a nickname, or that's really what Mom and Dad named him?
I am not entirely sure. Our research department is scrambling right now. Is it just me, or do all the guys that played in that time, the aughts, the teens, the 20s, the 30s, they all had either creative names or creative nicknames?
I was in the Hall of Fame in July. For the strikeout for De La Rosa of Zobrist, there was Old Eagle Eye, Hall of Famer.
That's 6 strikeouts for Ben Zobrist. Addison Russell coming up.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is now available. Join the millions of subscribers. Watch every out-of-market game live in True HD on over 400 devices.
Well, it's like the guy who owns the greatest single season in terms of RBIs in baseball history. Oh, Russell leans on another one.
Wow, way back. Way back.
Yeah, that landed well onto the concourse. De La's hot. Second home run of the ball game for Russell. He's the only guy to figure out De La Rosa today. And it's 10-2. That is his 17th of the year. For not a big guy, Spilly, he's got plenty of pop.
A lot of bat speed, and he handles the pitch inside really well. Hit a home run on Friday night. Pitch inside, a cutter. Jorge did not like that pitch. Russell has sneaky numbers when you look at it. 240, 49 batting average, 17 home runs, has 78 RBIs now.
Yeah, he's got a boatload of RBIs. 465 feet on StatCast, the estimated distance. So the all-time home RBI man in a single season, the former Cub, Hack Wilson. Is that his given name, Hack?
It's got to be
Oh,
right.
he's a bouncing baby boy. We'll name him Hack. Hack Wilson was like Jose Altuve, about 5'6". De La Rosa with disgust throws out Contreras. He's a perfectionist. He's been terrific today. Upset with the Russell home run. 10-2 Rockies.
Far Rockies are winning 10-2, bottom 7. There's Charlie Blackmon, our buddy Chuck. He's got the bad right big toe. I talked to him today, and we were just talking about that toe, and he said, yeah, it was sore. It got sore. Apparently, I ran into Gio Gonzalez. I was there, but I don't remember it. But now it's getting better. It's getting better. And as I was interviewing him, I noticed there's Christmas lights behind his locker in the clubhouse. So I go, I got to ask you, what is the deal with the Christmas lights?
That's my new extension cord for DJ. I got it for DJ. His phone charger doesn't reach this outlet, and I was like, I can solve that problem in a heartbeat. So I got an extension cord.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Ingenuity.
Yeah. And they're not Christmas lights. They're purple Rocky lights.
They look a little magenta, but he did show me the box truants, Billy, and it says right on it, Sylvania, purple, and yes, DJ does use that to power up his phone. I've got that all confirmed, so that's what's going on in the clubhouse.
Well, based on the interview, it looks like the mood is getting better, which is indicative of Charlie returning to the field very soon, would be my guess. Are you buying into that?
Yeah, I would hope so tomorrow in Milwaukee.
Sounds like a plan. Mark, thank you. Well, all kinds of changes to tell you about for the Cubs here as they're going to throw up the white flag as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Tony Walters at the plate. Tony, a pair of doubles and 3 trips. He's now facing Spencer Patton, who's come into the ball game. 1-1. And here's the new defense. Matt Caesar's now in right field. Ben Zobrist is now at shortstop. And the thing I love, Travis Wood is in left field. As in pitcher Travis Wood, who's one of the best athletes on the Cubs team.
Second to this guy.
Out at first base.
Wow.
That's a great play by Javier Baez.
First step quickness for Javier Baez is amazing. He gets to this ball so quickly. Anticipating the pitch, gets the read, full extension. He uses a small glove as well at second base. Little fist pump when he's down there. Full extension on the Subaru Supermo.
You know, Zastryzny did a nice job.
He really did. And
Went 2 2/3, no runs, 2 hits, a walk, 5 strikeouts. De La Rosa. It's been a great day for him. Just 88 pitches. So we always talk about the deep counts with De La. He's been economical today. 2 runs, 3 hits. The 2 runs, solo home runs from Addison Russell. Also a 2-run single back in the first for De La Rosa. He's 1 for 3. One more note on Travis Wood out there in left field. Travis can really legitimately swing the bat. He's been in the outfield 3 times this year.
I believe it was an extra inning game against
De
the
La
Reds.
Rosa, did he hurt himself coming out of the box? He's walking all right now. Kind of limped initially. Thought he may have pulled something. Walt asking him if he's all right.
Steve Foster checked in really quick. Scotty Garrett, Scotty Mariyama, 2 of the athletic trainers for the Rockies. They just take a peek. I don't see anything. Yeah, he might have rolled his ankle a little bit right at home plate.
Dahl chases underneath the hands. It's 0-2. And strike 3. That ends the inning, and we go to the 8th inning. The Rockies up 10-2 on Chicago. Here's our Kubota pitching performance of the day. Jorge De La Rosa. So far in the ball game, he's worked 7 innings. He's allowed 2 runs on 3 hits. 6-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. You gotta like that also. And in the 8th inning, Javier Baez will lead off against De La Rosa. Dale in search of his 8th victory of the year and his 53rd at Coors Field. He will go to 53-19 at the conclusion of this ball game. High fly ball to Cargo in right. 1 out. I'll bring up Matt Caesar.
Just like how efficient Jorge De La Rosa has been today, and the last couple starts for Jorge, just making sure he wasn't getting so predictable with the split finger. Today using that fastball primarily, using the cut fastball really well.
Two and nothing on Caesar.
Really good mix of pitches for De La Rosa. Even though he's in changeup counts 2-1, he's able to throw a changeup over and then follows it up with the cutter.
I think he's one of those guys, Billy, right? You know it's coming. You know you're getting a splitter, and it's still hard to barrel.
It's because he's throwing so many more pitches inside to righties specifically, too.
And he gets a ground ball to short. Descalso's had a busy day.
Get on-demand access to the best rooftop bar in Denver with Rockies Rooftop Fan Pass. You choose the games and can redeem them from your phone.
So Travis Wood will be the hitter. Kind of surprised by this. I mean, Travis works out of the bullpen. I worked some long haul relief, just 8 at bats though this year. 1 for 8. He's out front.
From Little Rock, Arkansas. I enjoyed playing baseball, minor league baseball in Little Rock.
It's pulled foul 0-2. Play minor league baseball, you get to see some of the great small towns or smaller cities, more accurately put, in America.
Travis Wood has 9 career major league home runs.
Now he's legit.
He's done that in 277 at bats. It's not bad.
Originally a 2nd round pick of the Reds in 2005. He was an all-star in 2013.
I like looking up his batting line. In 277 at bats, 106 strikeouts. How many walks do you think he has?
4.
7.
He's up there to hacks, Billy.
Based on his approach, he's going up there with one thing to do. Just trying to hit the ball out of the yard.
Pitch number 100. And that is going to be a base hit. Nice job by Parra to knock that down with his bare hand. Gets by him. That's going to be a triple. So a base hit for Wood. Just the 4th Cubs hit. That'll bring up Dexter.
Woods hacking the entire at bat, fastball down and away. And Gerardo Parra, off the bat, was trying to get with the angle to maybe dive for the baseball. As soon as he got close, he knew he wasn't going to be able to make a play and had to use his bare hand to stop the baseball from getting past him.
Dexter 0 for 2 and a walk. 2-0.
Some movement now in the Rockies bullpen. Chad Qualls is starting to warm up.
That's in there.
Qualls had a clean inning of relief last night. First start back, first game back. He's going on the disabled list.
Thought David had a chance maybe at throwing a complete game, but looks like fatigue starting to seep in.
Fatigue, and you don't know what effect last inning the swing had on his leg.
3-2.
The way he came out of the box, it obviously throws up a red flag, but when you look at Rockies training staff, they didn't go over. Obviously, it's not that big of an effect.
Right at DJ, positioned perfectly, throws to Ben Paulson to end the inning. 8 strong from Jorge De La Rosa, and the Rockies lead at 10-2. Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Air Force Day at the ballpark, and Pretty views of the academy about an hour south of Coors Field. Beautiful grounds in the United States Air Force Academy.
Hugs for De La Rosa. His day's done.
What a day for De La.
Fantastic.
8 outstanding innings. He was deserving of 46,206 getting on their feet and give him a standing ovation. He was just dynamite today. One and one on DJ. It's been on 3 times today. 2 for 2 in the first inning alone. Then he walked in the 4th and scored. Also a ground ball to 3rd. Batting .343. We were talking earlier about some of the names from the early years of the sport. This ball's in the air to deep left field's got a chance to get on out, and it is gone. Home run number 10 for LeMahieu. An ongoing career high.
Keep doing it, DJ LeMahieu, to your former team. Loves it. Came into this series 0 for 13 against his former team this season after last year. Just bashing them. And DJ, when he gets on his back leg and he pulls those hands in and drives it out, he goes to big boy territory with the best of them.
He's hit several out, as you say, to the big boy part of the ballpark. That's a long way where he hit that ball.
That's the action he's going to get. He's going to pull the off-speed pitches. You make the mistake with an off-speed pitch, that's the pull side baseball for DJ. Fastballs, he's going to shoot them opposite field.
2 strikes on Cargo. He's got 2 hits today. The home run traveled an estimated 414 feet.
Vinny's like, come on, man. You know how good that feels when you hit a home run? Why don't you do that more often?
What a year. Cargo strikes out. 1 out in the 8th inning. So we're talking about those names. What was the name of your guy? Sheriff Blake?
Yeah, but he wasn't a sheriff.
Got another Hall of Famer for you. Old Haas Radbourn. Old Haas.
Give me some of his numbers.
Well, I'll give you some of his numbers. His first name was Old, and his folks' middle name for him was Haas. Old Haas. Old Radbourn. Old, what's your middle name? Haas. Old Haas Radbourn. Old Haas, back in the day, Spilly, he never turned down the baseball.
Never, huh?
No, back in the 1800s, he went 59 and 12 one year with a 138. How many innings do you think he threw? It's back in 1884.
He went 59 and 12.
59 and 12. Ask me how many innings he threw.
I'm going to guess every game he threw a complete game. I'm not great at math. What's 70 times 9?
70 times 9 would be 720. You go into 720. He did have 73 complete games that year. He threw 678 2/3. 138 ERA. Nolan at the plate with a 1-2 count. What a day for Nolan. Tried for his first 5-hit ball game.
Yeah, but here's the stat. On bobblehead days, Nolan is 6 for 8 with 3 home runs and 7 RBIs. So they need to give these bobbleheads out more often for Nolan. Yep.
Do you think the Brewers will give one out for him tomorrow? Find a hole. That was punched pretty hard to the right side. Rizzo flips off to Patton, and that's the first time that Nolan's been retired today. 4 for 5. Rockies up 11-2. A reminder, we get tacos, fans. The Rockies have scored 11 runs, which is more than 7. Don't forget to go to your participating Taco Bell locations tomorrow between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Liv Moss at Taco Bell. 1-0 on Parra. Parra needs a knock, 0 for 4 today. Old Haas went 309 and 194. I'm mesmerized by his numbers now. In 11 seasons, he threw 4,500 plus innings. What I want to know is in that 1884 season, when he was 59 and 12 with a 138, and he threw 73 complete games, who was the bonehead skipper that pulled him out in the middle of an inning? He had 678 and 2/3. Old Haas, that's it. I can't watch anymore. You got to come out. We're going to the pen.
His arm fell off. It literally fell off, and he could not throw.
Oh, Dougie's straightening me out. He never did get pulled from a game. Every start he had, he threw a complete game, but then they said, Old Haas, listen, man, you only threw 212 pitches yesterday. You're in the pen today. So he made a couple of relief appearances. That's why he got 2/3 of an inning in.
My guess is Old Haas was a submarine pitcher.
Wait, I wish you were back in the clubhouse playing. If I armed you with this information, the next time somebody, you know, had to come out of the ball game after 5 1/3, you walk to the mound. They always say, think Old Haas would have come out here?
He's gonna be like, what, Spilly? Who's Old Haas? Don't worry about it. Inside joke.
Old Haas Radburn. He never came out. Why are you coming out? Three and 2. 11-2 Colorado. They've out-hit the Cubs 13-4. Temperature at first pitch was 85. It's now 87. Let's go to the ballpark, work on your tan, and watch the Rockies beat up the Cubbies. Pretty good afternoon. Hard shot. Rizzo gets leather, and safe at first is Parra. Good backup, as he should be doing, by Wilson Contreras. Rizzo has struggled with the leather in this series. See if they get Parra a base hit here. He was hit sharply.
I think they should give him a base hit. Ball hit hard to Rizzo's right. It's already been 4 errors for the Cubs today.
We had 4 errors and nearly 2 more, right?
They're at 6.
He should get a hit there. And he officially now gets the base hit. Descalso 0 for 2, a pair of walks for Daniel. Patton hits the zone there. It's 0-1.
Spencer Patton went to Southern Illinois, Evansville. So I wonder if he grew up a big Cardinals fan or a Cubs fan. You never know.
One or the other, typically, in that part of the country. A lot of SIU Carbondale. He went to Evansville. SIU Carbondale. I usually think Cardinals a little more than the Cubs, further down in the state.
I know Ben Zobrist grew up in Illinois, and his family die-hard Cardinals fans. They refuse to wear a blue Cubs hat, and from what I read, his uncle found one of the very few red Cubs hats to wear.
Strike on the outside corner. Descalso is retired. We'll go to the 9th. Rockies looking for 3 more outs. They're up 9. Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 club level tickets by visiting wellsfargo.com/Rockies. And by StubHub. Looking for great seats? Head to StubHub, the official ticket marketplace of the Colorado Rockies. In front of more than 46,000 on a splendid Sunday afternoon. The Rockies within 3 outs of beating the Cubs. They're up 11-2. And here is Jenny with the birthday boy from yesterday and the birthday boy from earlier in the week.
Yeah, we got the birthday boys from this week, hopefully celebrating a Rockies win. What a day for Nolan Arenado. He is back in the lead in the National League for home runs, back in the lead in Major League Baseball for RBIs, but he wasn't the only one today.
No, Jorge De La Rosa, 8 innings. He's the second Rockies pitcher to go 8 innings this year. Tyler Chatwood has done it 2 other times.
And you know what? The NL batting title race is officially a dead heat. DJ LeMahieu with those hits today tied Daniel Murphy atop the leaderboard, 345. More importantly, they are dead even, 150 hits each, 435 at bats each. Now they're hitting 345.
Well, it looks like you did a lot of math there. Speaking of math, what's up with old Haas? Because it feels like the guys in the booth, we're going to have to turn to our resident mathematician here. To correct some numbers for you, Drew.
Yeah.
Did you say 9 times 7?
Yeah, 9 times 7.
630,
not
my
720. More importantly, 73 complete games. If that's every start, I'm pretty sure that only adds up to 657 innings pitched.
That's just math.
It's just a little bit off there. I don't know.
What did Dougie tell us?
I don't know.
Oh, Doug under the bus.
Wow.
Oh,
Beep,
sure.
beep,
Sure.
beep.
Why not? Always pass the blame along. Was it 9 times 8 or 9 times 7? It was 9 times 7? Wow. Mrs. Robinson, my first grade teacher, is going to be upset with me. Matt Caracetti is throwing the 9th inning for the Rockies. Chris Bryant is 0 for 3. Christian Adames is in at third for Nolan. And that's a base hit for Bryant.
Carasetti's still trying to get his foot in the door with the Rockies and trying to get that nice clean inning. Stuff's there. We know about the fork ball. Trying to keep the ball down.
There's Adames. Anthony Rizzo, 1 for 3. Milwaukee's come back in Seattle. They were down 6-3 in the 7th, at 6-6 in the 9th. Milwaukee trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. They'll host the Rockies over the next 3 days at Miller Park.
Rockies dugout stars are the place for all things Rockies and the only place you can get the Nolan Arenado Colorado bobblehead series. Today was the Miners. He's got the biker, the fisherman.
So he's hitting 667 when they hand out a bobblehead with his likeness. Rizzo with another base hit. Bryant will go first to third. That'll bring up Ben Zobrist. Zobrist, the product of Dallas Baptist University. Good baseball program there. Our friend Mike Bard used to coach there, Dallas Baptist, DBU. Ben Zobrist was there when Josh Bard's older brother was coaching there. Great attendance this weekend for the Cubs, as expected. Crowd of almost 44,000 on Friday. Sellout yesterday. It was the Rockies' third sellout of the year. And close to a sellout today. 46,206. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You're talking about Old Haas. Well, Ben Zobrist and his wife, last year they had a baby.
Old Haas?
No.
Oh.
But it was a baby girl that they named Lacey. Well, the middle name, because the Royals won the World Series, they named her middle name Royal. Get a World Series ring, get your middle name named after them.
Lacey Royal.
Blasey.
Blasey Royal. Wow, this ball's launched to right. Cargo
got him
out at second base from the right field wall. Cargo just threw Zobrist out. He did drive in a run. What a throw in the air.
Nothing makes an outfielder feel better than to show off the arm, and nobody has a better arm in baseball than Carlos Gonzalez in right field. Played it perfectly off that auxiliary board. Didn't even set his feet, just turned around and fired it in. Threw a Hail Mary to Daniel Descalso, and Zobrist is out.
1 out, and Addison Russell, who's been the hitting star for the Cubs today with a pair of long, and I mean long, home runs to left. Up on the concourse twice. Actually, Russell had come out of the ball game. And so this was a pitcher's spot when they made all those changes. I apologize. So it's Soler who's going to pinch hit.
I like these situations for Matt right now. He's obviously has closer type stuff, and I think there's no better place to learn than at the major league level. And when you're looking at the Cubs lineup, as good as they are, facing Bryant, Rizzo, Zobrist, these are great learning experiences for Matt to understand, how do I locate? Where does my location need to be? How am I setting these players up? Is the quick pitch. It didn't work to Chris Bryant. It hasn't worked so far at the major league level. He's given up hits trying to speed up his mechanics.
He's going to get Soler on 1 pitch. Foul ground. Paulson will call off Walters. Somebody's got to cover the plate. It's a heads-up play by Rizzo. Nobody was covering the plate. Walters peeled off. I was watching this, and then Tony never went to the plate, and it's Caracetti who honestly fell asleep. He's got to cover the plate when his catcher departs. And so on a foul pop-up 25 feet from home plate, Jorge Soler is going to get a sac fly. That is the closest sac fly I have ever seen and probably ever will see.
The only way that makes it tolerable is that it's 11-4.
And Caracetti's got to get there. See Adames in the picture. You know, Christian just trying to help out and race Rizzo down the line. 2 outs, nobody on. Wilson Contreras, the catcher.
I know from a coach's standpoint, a play like that will make your blood boil. And it also serves, this inning is a great learning experience for Matt to take back and digest it, figure out, how do I get better? This is something you have to do, even something as simple as covering home plate.
2-1.
You don't think he'll be pulled aside after the game today and just talk to you about that? There'll be a couple players that they'll mention, hey, that can't happen.
It'll be mentioned, I would think, Spilly, but he knows.
He knows. But it also helps the coach to get it off his chest.
2-1. 2-2, fouled off by Contreras, who's 0 for 3. Rockies a strike away. little sloppy here in the 9th inning. Not how you want to finish things out, but they are up 11-4. And they've out-hit the Cubs 14-7. No errors for the Rockies, 4 miscues, including 3 in the first inning for Chicago. 2-2. And this ball's well hit to left field, but it's going to die on the warning track. Caught out there by Parra, and that is the ball game. The Rockies take 2 of 3 again from the Cubs, as they did earlier this year in April in Chicago. They win the season series 4-2 over the team with the best record in baseball. The final this Sunday afternoon, the Rockies 11, the Cubs 4. De La Rosa with the victory. He's 8-7. He's now 53-19 in his career at Coors Field. And his former teammate Jason Hammel takes the loss. He's now 13-6. Only third time this year that a Rocky starter has gone 8 innings. The other 2 times was Tyler Chatwood. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game. Nolan Arenado in a funk coming in, 4 for his previous 35. This is a 3-run first inning home run. And then after a base hit, his 3rd time up, he hit another home run off Jason Hammel. Up on the concourse with 2 men aboard again. A couple of 3-run home runs today for Nolan Arenado, the National League leader again in RBIs and home runs with 32 and 104 respectively. Great day for the Rockies as they take 2 of 3 from the Cubs. 11-4 the final as we go to center field. Here's Jenny and the boys.
How about that? Ending with a happy homestand for a happy flight. Win 60 for the Rockies.
Congratulations, teammates. 3 for 3 on what we're rooting for.
Yes!
Perfect day,
we
then.
nailed it. We'll be right back with the Toyota Post Game Show.